Monday, everybody. Today is the 15th. I thought yesterday was the 15th. It wasn't. So today is the 15th, halfway through June. Ides of June. I am Barbara. Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome. I hope everyone is well. It is a nice day today. It's actually very cloudy, complete cloud cover, but it's supposed to clear up and be a sunny day. Highs in the 70s, and it's supposed to be nice. So I'm wearing my Summer Dreams by Marcela Chang. And I forgot to put a seat on my seat, so I hope I don't snag it in the back like I did my Novelli. That was on a different chair though, so hopefully I won't. I'm going out today, so I dressed up. I might change. I'm wearing my jeans, but I might change into my white pants because I'm going out and about. I'm taking my mother-in-law for her follow-up visit to the doctor today. So that might constitute enough to dress up a little bit and wear my white pants. I can't wear them in the house, of course, because Macy likes to put her paw in my lap after a nice long session under the deck. So I had a lovely day yesterday. I knit on my envelope all day. I got quite far, pretty far. I'm more than halfway done with it, or about halfway done with it, I would say. And I've gotten to the point where I think I have enough yarn. I am anticipating a serious game of yarn chicken, but I think I have enough yarn. I will definitely have to use my gauge swatch though. I'm quite sure about that. But it's coming along really nicely. And I'm doing the seed stitch version. Oh, so yesterday while I was knitting, I asked Dennis to shoot a video over my shoulder to show you how I knit. So this is seed stitch, and I'm knitting and purling. Unfortunately, he didn't like zoom in straight on my hands, so I hope you can see what I'm doing. If you can't, I'll ask him to do another one today. But like I said, I knit Continental, and so I tension this is my left hand. I don't know if it looks left to you guys. I tension my yarn with my left hand over my pointer finger. And the motion that you see with my pointer finger is me wrapping the yarn around the needle for the purl stitch. So when it's time for me to purl, I say purl, and the yarn moves from the back to the front, and it's like that small of a change. And now my yarn is in the front. I put my right needle in, and then I move my finger around to catch that tip of the needle for the purl stitch, and then I'm done. So that's what that movement of my finger is, if you can't tell because the video is a little far away. But the movement of the yarn from the back to the front is just this small of a move. So you can see why this is me knitting seed stitch. You can see why it's not a big deal for me to go back and forth between feeds for seed stitch. So here's the video. Thank you, sweetie. Okay, so that's me knitting Continental on my envelope. And Always Happy Feet asked me, why do I knit Continental when most people, it's her understanding that most people in the United States knit what I've heard referred to as English style, or with the yarn in the right hand. And the reason I knit Continental, I started out, I taught myself how to knit via YouTube. YouTube is the most amazing thing. And I started knitting English style. But at that time, my lamp working was my main hobby. And so I would go have a session, couple hour long session of lamp working, and I would be tired because, you know, when you're lamp working, you may not know, you can go back and watch some of my lamp working videos. You have your arms up like this because you've got the glass a little lower than this, but you know, you can't see my hands. You got your glass on one hand and you've got your mandrel on the other, and you've got a flame in front of you, and so you're holding your arms up the whole time you're making a bead. So after a long session of lamp working, I would be tired, and I would come in and, you know, like sit in front of the TV and like, whoa. So I decided to teach myself how to knit, and I've told you that story. I went to this amazing yarn shop and wanted all the yarn, so I decided I better learn how to knit. So I had it in my mind I wanted to learn how to knit so I could buy yarn, which explains my stash. And so I went on YouTube and I started knitting, and I started knitting English style. But it didn't take very long for me to realize that, and I was throwing, and, you know, so I was having kind of a bigger movement with my right arm than probably was totally necessary. And I realized that I was using all the same muscles doing my knitting as I was doing my lamp working. And I stopped my lamp working session because my muscles were tired. So I thought, this doesn't seem like the best idea. So that's when I discovered continental knitting, and I taught myself how to knit continental. And that is why I knit continental, to save my lamp working muscles for my lamp working. And I really prefer it a lot, certainly to the way I was doing knitting, you know, using my right hand. Now, I've seen people who knit right-handed who are flickers. I wasn't a flicker. I was doing a bigger movement to move my yarn. But I did not knit English style more than a week before I said, you know, and I was a brand new knitter. So I don't even, you know, I'm not even sure if you can call it knitting yet. But before I switched and found some videos to teach me how to knit continental. So that, always happy feet, is why I knit continental. And you saw how I knit continental. So I really enjoyed knitting on my envelope yesterday. I will be doing the same today. I'll take it with me when I go to the doctor's office. I had a very social day yesterday. I called my sister. I hadn't talked to her in quite some time because she owed me a phone call, but she keeps track better than me, and apparently I owed her a phone call, which is why she didn't call me. That's how we are, apparently. I didn't know I was like that till I'm like, she never calls me. She's like, I called you. You weren't calling me because you hadn't read the book. I like, oh yeah, I forgot that part. So she wasn't calling me because it was my turn. And I wasn't calling her because she never calls me, which apparently she does. We're sisters. What can I say? So anyway, it's her turn to call me next. I reminded her when I got off the phone, but I talked to her for about 2 hours because I hadn't talked to her in a while. Not that you would think there'd be that much to talk about in the time of Corona, but we talked. She lives by herself. She's in Boise, Idaho. And so, well, I think she's probably seems pretty lonely. So, and she's not super healthy, so that doesn't help her either, you know. And then I had my craft night with Christy. My Zoom crafting recurring meeting with my daughter Christy. My sister's also Christy. And we crafted together for over 3 hours, and that was fun. And I just worked on my envelope and talked, and it was nice to spend some time with her. So that was my evening. My whole evening was family. I didn't knit while I was talking on the phone with my sister. She only has cell phone, and it was bad. She had to like go and stand at her door to get good reception, and I didn't want to put her on the speakerphone so I could knit because we already were having trouble. So, but I knit the whole time I was with my daughter, making lots of progress. So that's good. So I'm expecting to finish that in the next few days. And then I'll need to maybe knit the Aura shawl for my mother-in-law. And I'll have 2 things for the hug around the neck make along, which we're having in our group. If you are making an accessory that goes around the neck and you weren't very far along on June 1st or started after June 1st, then please join us. We have a thread in the Flame and Fiber podcast Ravelry group for that, and it's a chatter and FO thread combined, and we would love to have you join us. There are lots of fun things going on in there, so please join us. So that's all I did yesterday. I played with the dogs, walked the dogs, and knit on my envelope and talked to my husband and my sister and my daughter. And it was a nice day. Oh, so gorgeous out. So gorgeous. And today, the sun came out for a second, but then, you know, so the clouds, these are like the kind of clouds that are going to burn off, so I'm expecting that. But my loud bird isn't here. No loud bird at the moment. Oh well. And, but a nice breeze and a gorgeous day. And I will be spending some time with my mother-in-law, and that will be good. She will like that. And and continue knitting on my envelope. And today's a food day, so I get to eat dinner tonight. Dennis is going to be making French burgers, which are really yummily seasoned burgers that have delicious sauces on them. So that's what we will be having for dinner. That's already planned. And that's all the excitement around here. The girls aren't even out here, the lazy bums. I took my shower today. They were both laying up in their beds with Dennis. Dennis is in bed, you know, surfing Twitter with his tea, relaxing. He is not a morning person. As far from a morning person, I believe, as you can barely get. So he likes a quiet, slow entry into the day. And so that's what he gets. Although he's the one who got the tea and coffee this morning rather than me. But so he's up there relaxing, trying to enter the day on a smooth waters. And apparently so are the dogs, because they were up there both laying on their beds just like it wasn't even daytime yet. So they're not out here with me today. I don't know. Funny. So it's just you and me. No dog sightings. So I guess that's it. So I have to put that footage in this, so I have to do a little bit of editing, which I don't usually do. Oh, my bird! My bird's back! There he is. Oh, good. I was so lonely out here. Oh, that's fun. All right, well, I will say goodbye. I hope you are all well and everyone is healthy and things are calm in your corona world. And I will see you tomorrow. Stay safe and stay sane.